First up, you have the Ace of Cups. Then you have the Four of Swords. And then you have the World. In your reverse challenge position, you have the Ace of Cups. And what is recommended for you is the Knight of Pentacles. So going into the few months, the Ace of Cups here represents that you're going to be really starting something with an open heart. There might be something that you're very interested, but you're emotionally interested in. This could be love. This could be a hobby or something that you're kind of like excited about, but emotionally your heart is interested in it and wants to pursue it. So that's really, really excellent. But around the middle part of the few months, you're going to be taking a break. The Four of Swords represents kind of needing to take a minute. Like you might, whatever this represents, this Ace of Cups for you, sometimes I think this kind of burns real fast. You know, you get really excited about something. You're emotionally like kind of like really into it. It's what you want at the moment. But sometimes we need to take a moment and make sure it's really what we want and what's really good for us. So I think around the middle of the few months, you're going to be kind of, I'm not taking a step back, but just taking a pause, however this represents for you. Just taking a moment to kind of figure out some of the details, because this kind of might have been, you might have been super invested in this. Whatever this represents for you, you might have been like all in. So you might be feeling a little worn out. You might feel like you need to take a minute before you get fully carried away again, or just to reassess that however you're being carried away in a good direction and it's beneficial for you for the long term. But with whatever's going on, you're going to be just taking kind of a minute, taking a pause. So this could be good. This could represent some of you maybe going on vacation or something too. So you're just taking a step back from like the daily everything. And then what's coming in for you by the end of the few months, you have the World. So I think you're completing some type of cycle. Whatever this represents, you're going to be kind of coming to certain resolutions or completions for it. Now, the World always represents you've kind of finished one phase of it, but now you're going to be opening up a new door. You're going to be on the Fool's journey yet again to start something going forward. So whatever this represents, you might be able to be ready to kind of move forward with it on a different level. So if this is like a relationship for some of you, this means maybe you kind of went through the dating phase and now you're ready to kind of be like, yeah, we're like officially together. Or if this is a hobby or whatever, and some type of project that you just really, really makes you happy, you're ready to kind of take it a little bit further. You're ready to continue with it on the next phase. But your challenge for these few months is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Now, this could indicate that you're trying to block yourself. I wonder if that's kind of going with this Four of Swords a little bit. That maybe part of why this Four of Swords could be happening is that you are doubting yourself, second-guessing yourself, and you're kind of trying to disconnect a little bit from whatever it is. So, and I don't think the Four of Swords is a bad thing, because sometimes, like I said before, the Ace of Cups, we can kind of get a little bit ahead of ourselves, you know, like especially when it comes to emotions and kind of passions and something that we love, sometimes we don't see things fully clearly because we see it just with rose-colored tinted glasses. Like it's amazing, you know, it's so exciting. It makes us so happy. So we might not fully see it because we enjoy being in that moment. I enjoy being in that kind of like exciting phase. So, but this is saying that your challenge is with whatever this represents, maybe you're doubting it a little bit because you're scared that if you had something similar in the past and it didn't go well, you might be kind of fearful in a sense that it could happen again. So you might be kind of putting up, I don't want to say blockades or barriers, but you might be putting up a little bit more defense up so you don't fully get carried away. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think your challenge, I think, is to make sure that you're probably investing into it and, of course, being level-headed about it, but kind of allowing yourself to be open. So if something is positive, allow it to be positive and kind of allow yourself to kind of continue on with it. But if it's not good, you're going to know. So, but I think with this Four of Swords here, I think this is you kind of, I don't want to say hitting the brakes on it a little bit, but just kind of maybe taking a pause. But I think this is definitely saying that you should move forward with it, because with the Knight of Pentacles here, as your recommendation. Now, he's not a quick moving kind of guy. No, he's my guy of the daily grind, but he could also represent being very sure and being very, I see him as being very, very knowledgeable. I see him also as making like investments wisely. Like he's very aware of different opportunities or different situations, and he's just trying to make the best decision for that moment. So I think this is saying that you don't necessarily need to rush into whatever this is or whatever this represents. I definitely think it's something that could potentially be good, especially because I feel like with the world here, it's something that you might decide to kind of commit to. Like you get past that kind of dating phase with whatever this is, and now you're ready to kind of commit to it a little bit. But I think with the Knight of Pentacles here, this is saying that even if you do take a break or you're kind of a little bit, I don't want to say suspicious or sus of this situation or whatever this represents, I think this is saying that always stay level-headed with this. Don't get carried away, but review options, just kind of be open to it, but just make sure that whatever this represents, that you're getting, like it's an equal give and take situation. So I think that's very good though. So yeah, I think the Knight of Pentacles is also saying that although you might be kind of a little bit suspicious, or you don't want to get carried away, or you're scared that you're going to kind of get carried away, or you might not be as open to this situation, I think this is saying that you can be open to it, but you can be open to it cautiously. You can be open to it reasonably, in a sense, like, because he's not one to really get carried away with his emotions or even his passions. He's more kind of like the logical aspect, not even just the logical aspect, but the practical thing. Like he understands the emotions and the passions and everything, but he's just making sure that he's investing his time into things that really are worth his time. So I definitely think that's a very good, and he says you could go slowly because he goes very slowly. He's making sure each time he steps, he's stepping correctly. So I think with this, it's recommended that, you know, even if you're taking a little bit of a break, that you still continue on with it, but just make sure that you're not fully closing yourself off if it is a good situation, and you're just proceeding with caution in a sense, but not caution as a suspicious, you know, you're going to get screwed type of caution, but just caution as in like, you know, you're on the right track. You're just making sure that you're building a really solid foundation and you're just moving forward in the most practical, effective way possible. But let's see what else we get for the cards. What else the cards have to say for you. I was dropping cards left and right, but first up we have Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings, and I think this is kind of going with this this Ace of Cups in reverse, because sometimes it does hurt, you know, and even maybe the Four of Swords, maybe you had some kind of setback in the past, and that's what this could represent. You might have had something in the past that, I don't want to say reminds you of the situation, but you're scared it's going to happen again. And then you're taking a break or you're stepping away from the situation momentarily because of fear, of concern, you know, kind of like, you know, I just need to take a minute. I don't want to get carried away. What if this is not going to be good? So that's definitely something. But, you know, we all go through these moments. We all have happiness and then sadness. It's like the way it is, you know, so. But I think whatever this represents, I think it could potentially be something really, really good. And I think maybe it even could help you. I don't want to say the world could even be representing that you might be healing from a past situation. But sometimes when we have things that have happened in the past that like really sucked, and then if we're in something similar going forward and it actually goes well, it helps kind of give you your confidence a little bit. It helps kind of heal you from that. So it's no longer a negative experience necessarily. It's now just an experience that you had, but then you had a positive experience after. So sometimes that's good. But I think this is just saying, recognize that, things do happen. Things are not always perfect, but that doesn't necessarily mean history is going to repeat itself. Sometimes it does, but I think this is just saying that unfortunately shit happens. And then you have Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you. And I feel like this is saying by kind of putting out, let's say, a positive mindset or positive energy, or just trying to be happy or have faith. Sometimes that will be reflected back to you, And sometimes when you ask for things, it comes to you. So maybe whatever this represents was something that you've wanted, but maybe it wasn't quite great in the past, but you've always kind of wanted this, and maybe you're now attracting something much better to you. So I think you just need to stay, I don't say faithful to yourself, but just have the faith that, you can achieve a happy ending, like you can achieve a certain goal or whatever this represents for you, that like you are deserving of it. That's how I want to say it. And Bloodstone, get up, get moving. And I definitely think that's going with this Four of Swords here, and even the Knight of Pentacles, because he's very slow moving. He's making sure he's checking all the I's, he's dotting all the I's and checking all the T's, crossing all the T's or whatever. Like he's making sure, he's like definitely looking at the details, but he's kind of slow about it. He's not making anything, he's not going anywhere quick. He's definitely one step at a time kind of guy. So, but I think this is saying that you don't want, whatever the Ace of Cups could potentially represent for you, you may not want to just let it fizzle out. You might want to put some action into it. See, if it kind of seems like it's positive, then, give a little bit more. So you don't want to just stay in this rest, in this pause phase, because I think if you do, then you're not going to really achieve it. So, or not gain it. So, but I definitely think you're going to be with the World here. I think some cycle or something is going to be kind of coming. I always see the World as a positive resolution. You're finishing something. So you just have to get doing it. And then you have Chaser. Chaser in codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. And then you also have Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. So I wonder if with this Ace of Cups reverse, I wonder if some of you were in like a codependent relationship and maybe you were the one always chasing them, or maybe they were like psycho and kind of chasing you, and you might be, whatever this Ace of Cups is here for you, you might be a little like nervous that it's going to happen again. Like either you're going to get your heart broken, or you're going to have like some crazy person in your life again, or it's just whatever this represents is not going to go well. And this could be love, or it could be any situation that you feel like this is pertaining to. So there might have been problems in the past and you might be worried, and this could be why you're having this fear with this, you're stalling a little bit with this Ace of Cups in reverse, and then you're taking a pause because you're like, okay, I've seen this again. I've seen this before, I should say. And it didn't go well the first time. And yet here we are again. Like, do I really want to give this a second chance? But I think this is just saying here, sometimes life stings, stuff happens, but it doesn't always mean it's going to happen again. Sometimes it does happen again. Let's call it for what it is. But I think by you putting out your intentions and kind of what you want, I think you might be attracting something much better. So, and then with the Kisses here, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. So I definitely think for some of you, this could be a little bit of a romantic reading. There might be something that you love, or kind of just, getting involved a little bit in that. And it could also be hobbies or whatever. Some people have passion projects that they just really enjoy and they're very passionate about. So it really could represent anything that really gets your heart kind of going for something. So, but with this giving and receiving, especially because you have the World here, and even the Knight of Pentacles, because to me, this guy, I don't see him as like a quitter. Of all the knights, I really don't see him as a quitter. I think he's the type that would be willing to figure it out. You know, like I think the Knight of Wands would be kind of, I don't want to say a one and done kind of kind of knight, but he's like kind of passionate, but when the passion just like fizzles out, you know, maybe he's not passionate to the new thing because he's always chasing his passions. And the Knight of Swords, I think, could be a little psychotic. You know, he kind of mind games there. Maybe not a bad person, but it could get a little weird with that one. And then the Knight of Cups, I just feel like he's going to cry a lot, you know. I think that could be he's not a disaster, but I just see him as a real like crier or whatever. But the Knight of Pentacles, I see this guy as, you know what, we have a problem. Like he's willing to handle the problems. He's trying to figure it out. Yeah, he's slow about it, but he wants to make sure he's doing it correctly. So I think this is very positive for this specific reading. I just feel like this guy's here to be like, okay, he's ready. To me, he's like not going to run away. He's not going to hide in a corner and just cry about it and have to go through therapy for years to like figure it out. And he's not just going to like quit when it gets tricky, you know, like he's going to try to figure it out. So I definitely feel like this is really good energy here, especially because you have this one here. So, and especially because you also have the World. So I feel like, because the World, I feel like to reach the end, to reach the World, you needed to really bring in all different aspects into it. You needed to bring your emotions into it. You needed to bring some of the cleverness of the thoughts and everything, figuring it out. You needed to figure out the practical aspects. And then you also needed to take the action to even get there. So I just feel like this is really, really positive. Because I feel for some of you, this unconditionally loving, giving, and receiving, I just think that it's something that is going to be kind of mutual. And this could be a relationship, or this could just be the dog's making noise. Sorry. It could be mutual, even friendships, you know, or mutual just projects or whatever, that it's something that's going to benefit you as well. You're not just going to get screwed. And then make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Now, and this is another card of taking action. Where's the other one? You get up and get moving you had here. So I think, I definitely think you just have to continue to make the effort. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, to me, he's the one that really is going to continue making the effort. If he sees something worth going after, he's definitely going to really try to make it work. Like, he doesn't want to lose that. He's just going to take his time. He's going to figure it out. You know, he could be a little bit more passionate, a little bit quicker, but you know, that's not his thing. He's going to make sure he's doing it correctly. So, but I think this is saying that don't just remain in the Four of Swords energy. Don't remain kind of stuck or kind of taking a break or a pause, and don't let your fears that you're going to get hurt again block you, because that's your challenge, is not to let your fears kind of overcome you and you not take a good opportunity that presents itself, you know? But now we have, sometimes it takes a good fall to really know where you stand. And I feel like that's really going with this sometimes life stings energy. And I really, you know, it always sucks when things go wrong. It always sucks. It's never a good thing. It always is miserable. But occasionally, sometimes we can learn like valuable lessons from that. We know what not to do next time. At least in theory, we should know not what to do next time. But I just think sometimes when you have a disappointment, you kind of value when something is really good, you know, or you kind of see something real. It's easier to see something good versus something not good next time around, because you've already dealt with it once. So, and for your little affirmation, we have, today I am respectful. Today I will acknowledge other people's thoughts and feelings as well as my own. And I think this is really important, because just in case this Ace of Cups is saying that somebody may like you, or you're getting some kind of, you're feelings for somebody else or some things else. I think this is just saying that if it's kind of mutual, that you don't want to just block your heart if they're actually willing to put the effort in, you know, even with this kisses, kind of giving and receiving affection. You don't want to just assume that they're this codependent person or whatever, or this mess over here. You kind of want to like be able to open up your heart to that. So especially if it's love, like it's not just one person in that relationship, like you're a team now, like you're combining, you're like a ride or die together, you know, like you're in it, like Bonnie and Clyde type of stuff. So that's how I see it. But you want to, if it is love, you want to, and if you're a little bit nervous, maybe communicating or talking to them or something, see where they're at. But I think kind of discussion, I think this is saying that, you know, you can discuss and you cannot assume. Don't put assumptions as somebody's going to be a certain kind of way, because they might not be. They might actually be really, really good. So, and be so very light, a gentle whisper. That's what Bob Ross has to say for you today. And I think this is saying that if you have negative thoughts coming in, just treat them as like a gentle whisper. They don't need to just like sink into your brain. Any negative thoughts or anxiety, you can kind of, and if you know they're not pertaining to this situation, that maybe they were pertaining to a prior situation, you can kind of blow those out of your mind and just stay present. And for the spirit of the dish that will be with you for these few months, you have the mispronounced, which is the spirit of the gyro. For your dinner and a movie, you have thriller movies and barbecue food. For the energies that you either need to be aware of or tap into, you have Scorpio. And this is about kind of transformation and major changes. And you also have Sagittarius, which is about expansion and good fortune. You have Venus here, which is about love, money, and powers of attraction. And then you have the North Node, which represents destiny. And you have two first houses, which represents appearance, egos, interest, and the self. And this little skull here is number 6. So that means the special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Pisces, will be Mr. Predicto. So think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have U, D, A, H, W, W, B, Z, O, J, and S, and then 677. And you have nurture. And I think this is like, you got to nurture yourself. You got to nurture maybe this, whatever this represents for you. Just don't like let it kind of, I don't say disintegrate. I know that's like super dramatic, but whatever. Just don't let this love or whatever disintegrate and decay. You got to like nurture it. You got to take care of it. If you want it to grow and if you want it to become something, you have to do your part and you got to be proactive in it. And let's see what little charmy we get for you. Okay, so you have the sheep. Now, this is the sleepy sheep. So I think he's kind of going with his 4 of Swords. You might need to take a break a little bit, maybe have a little nap sometimes. But I do think that this could represent things that you might have been dreaming of, especially with this situation. Maybe there was something that you were always dreaming of or wanted, and you might have had it once before, and it kind of sucked. It just did not, it turned into a nightmare. But maybe this is saying that you're kind of, especially because the magic works through you, maybe like, whatever this represents, maybe you're kind of, I don't want to say a second chance, but maybe you're kind of getting another shot at it, or there's something that's happening where it's similar. And I think this could be just saying that if it aligns with kind of what you've been dreaming of, you should definitely kind of maybe nurture it and take the actions for it. But you'll know for yourself. And some of you, this is just saying you got to take a nap. So that's how it is. Anyway, now it is time. Here he is. Think of those questions, Pisces, and it's time to ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device that's ever run off of batteries. What is the answer to Pisces' question?
Yes.
Okay. He said yes. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and that was the word he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful few months, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.